Hi everyone, this is Tammy with Life Began in a Garden. Today I'm going to show you how I use my covered beds or hoop beds. These are my granddaughters. They're 2-year-old twins.
There's more dirt in your pots.
And they came to visit and they are helping me in the garden. So the one you see there, her name is Christine, and her job, she has decided, is to fill up the containers that I'm going to be transplanting in. And the one in the darker pink over there, her name is Brooklyn. And that Christine needs a lot more pots to fill up than she has. So she has taken it up on herself to give Christine a bunch more pots. I feel like it is important to teach children about gardening as early as you possibly can. So I enjoy when they're out there with me. Right now I'm back in the laundry room, and these are some new seedlings that I'm starting. I have different types of flowers there. Most of them are cosmos, and I will be planting or sowing them. And then also some different varieties of tomatoes. It's a little bit early for tomatoes, but I like to start them early so that if I don't get good germination, I have time to start them over again. I actually started these on February the 4th, and some of them are more detailed on the back than others, but if you start them from seed, all of the varieties, you sow them the same way. So they say 1/4 of an inch deep, and so what I do is just fill up my cells and make sure that the soil is moist before I put it in there. And then I put the seeds in each of the cells, the number that I want, and I usually put 3 in each cell just in case I don't get good germination. Maybe at least one of them will come up. And then I just sprinkle dirt over the top of it. Not really 1/4 of an inch even, but I always go on the low side. If it says 1/2 an inch, I don't really do quite 1/2 an inch. I do a little less than that. And then I just tap it down and make sure I have my labels on there, and it's good to go. So it's showing all the seedlings or the seeds there, and sometimes you can tell a difference in the seed from one variety to the other, but they're all basically the same because they are all tomatoes. So that's how I did them. And then I'm also doing a tray of peppers, and it is time to start with those. So the peppers that I'm wanting to grow this year are jalapeno, and that's that first one you see there. I like canning those. I like using them in many different recipes, and they also have medical value. So that's the reason that I'm doing them. And then this one is the long cayenne pepper, and I use that a lot. I ground it and use it that way on pizzas. But I also just dry it, and it has a lot of medical value also. And then the banana peppers, which I like using. And then my favorite of all the peppers is the bell peppers. So I'm doing California, which is a green pepper, and Big Red, which of course is a red pepper. So I'm showing the trays there, and all of them are planted the same way or sown the same way. So I'm not going to actually take you through all of that to show it to you, but I will show you kind of how I sprinkle the dirt over the top of it. And then they take a long time to germinate. The peppers do. And so that's why you need to start them early, to give them the time that they need to germinate and be ready to put in the when they need to go there. And I don't know if you can tell the difference in this seed starter that I'm using, but I couldn't find the one that I prefer, which is what I used the first time I did this. And I was out of it, so I bought this one. I like it too, except that it has more of the big chunks in it. And this one is called Back to Roots. So I'm pleased with it in every way except that it has the bigger little chunks of wood in it, and so if there's some in there that are bothering me, I just get them out. And this is my hoop bed or covered bed. So because I don't have enough grow lights to keep all of these under the light, the ones that are cold hardy, I just went ahead and put them out in the hoop bed. Some of these trays have seeds in them that I'm just starting out there to begin with because they are cold hardy plants, and most of those are herbs. And then the chamomile, it's a perennial and it's a pretty hardy plant, so I got them started inside, and then I transplanted them into these pots and put them out here to finish their growing. And so far they've done great. They've been out there for almost 2 weeks now. And this is showing how I connect those pipes to the bed to make the hoop house. So even though these were already there, so I can't show you that part of actually doing it, but I am showing you there how it was put together. So those are PVC pipes, and they're a 1/2 inch pipe, and I just cut them to the length that I needed them to be, which is however tall you need your hoop house to be. You need to just kind of experiment with it and measure your beds and decide about how far up you want it to go. And then these little connectors are PVC pipe connectors. So wherever you find your PVC pipe at, you will find them. And this is showing that the pipe is a 1/2 inch. And the 1/2 inch means the amount of opening inside of it. So some of the pipes are thicker than other pipes. So they may look like they're bigger around, because they are if they're the thicker pipe. But they're still called 1/2 inch pipe because it's 1/2 inch of space inside of it. So these are some of the pots that Christine and Brooklyn helped me fill up so I could do this transplanting. And I'm just kind of showing you how they do. This is not something that I would recommend that you do with your tomatoes or peppers, because the weather isn't warm enough for that yet, even in a hoop bed. But for the cold hardy plants, this is a way to start your seeds early without a grow light, or to get them started under a grow light and then move them out when they get big enough to repot. And so a lot of the flowers and herbs can be done this way. I'm sure that we will still get a freeze, and if it's just a freeze where it just dips down and then comes back up again, the temperature does, and it doesn't stay below freezing very long, then I will leave these out there. But if it's going to dip down below freezing and stay there for more than an hour or so, then I will bring in the ones that I don't feel like can take that cold spell for that long a period of time. And I used a thick, like greenhouse plastic on these. This one here is kind of a medium grade plastic. It's not quite as thick as I wanted it to be, so I actually bought some more and replaced it and put a thicker one on there, because the thicker it is, the more it will hold the heat in. And then I just hold the plastic down with the clips that you see there, I have a hoop in the middle and a hoop on each end, and it's held down with the clips onto the PVC pipe. And then on the bed itself, I use bricks or a long piece of wood that I just screw into the raised bed in a few places to hold it down. And so you could do that on one side, but you still have to be able to open it on the other side. And so that's why I have the bricks on that side holding it down. And here we're back in the laundry room again, and I'm showing you how my plants are doing. That's Cosmos that is already. Remember I said that I started those February the 4th, and they came up very quickly. And today is February the 10th, so it didn't take them very long at all. These are my pepper plants, and only one so far has germinated, but I'm actually even surprised that the one has, because it takes them quite a while to come up. So that one there that you see, that little, is the only one that's up so far. And then I would say like within a week or so, the rest of them should be coming up. But sometimes it takes even longer than that, which is why that you do need to start them a bit early. And then my tomato plants, most of them are actually up. I've got one brand of them, that's the Brandywine, and only one in that tray has come up. It looks like maybe another one's starting to come up. So I'm not sure that that one's going to do that great, and it may just be that type of seed. And then the rest of them actually came up really well. And as you can see, if I put 3 seeds in there, for a lot of them, I got 3 seedlings out of it. And of course, you can't leave those in there like that, so I will be pinching off the weaker ones and leaving it so that only one tomato seedling is growing in each cell. And again, I won't be planting all these at my house because I have kind of space, but I will be planting some at the shop, and I will also be giving some away to neighbors or family, whoever wants some tomatoes. So I'm going to say again, though, that these tomatoes and the peppers do not like cold weather, and they actually love heat, so I'm keeping them under the heat light until it's time to harden them off and start them outside, and I'll show you that when I do that part. But for now, they're going to be living in my laundry room. Most of the other seedlings, though, that I have started, I will be able to move out to the hoop house so that it frees up the space for these. When I have to transplant these in bigger pots, I'll still have grow light space for them. So if you are planning on starting pepper plants and you haven't started them yet, it is time to start them from seed in most areas. And I am actually, my zone is 7B, and it's East Tennessee. So depending on your zone, you do need to be starting your pepper plants pretty soon. And for tomatoes, like I said, I did those a little bit early, so you have a little bit of time still to start those, and that depends also on what your zone is. And the flowers, most of them, if they are flowers that you had last year, they will have dropped their seeds, and if they had enough warm weather outside, which we've had a warm spell, some of those are coming up anyway. So if they would do that naturally outside and be okay, then I feel like that they'll be okay in my hoop house. If you are enjoying these type of videos that I've been doing, meaning some are for crafts, and the crafts are plant related in some way, and some are just gardening stuff, either indoor or outdoor. I will also be doing videos in the future on foraging, because that is a passion of mine, and I will be introducing you to wild plants and what their medical value is, and which ones of those are also edible, and their nutritional value. And if you have little ones in your family, please introduce them to gardening. I hope you've enjoyed this video. God bless you.